Hey y'all, and welcome to my kitchen.
I was born and raised in the South, in the city, and now I live in the Midwest, on a farm, and I love it. Other things I love are Jesus, my family, and everything food. I'm so glad you decided to join me today.
I'm so excited to show you all this recipe today. It is so good and it is so hearty. If you're hungry, it will satisfy. This is one of those church cookbook recipes. It's just awesome. I don't know if you have a church cookbook or 10 or 50, but they're awesome. And my sweet mother-in-law got me a church cookbook. Actually, she got 3 for her son's future wives at one point. So isn't that awesome? But the recipes in here are outstanding. And the one I'm gonna do today is called Min's Favorite Meat.
You'll need 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 16-ounce box of pasta, 1 jar of pasta sauce, Lay's potato chips, a green bell pepper, a container of mushrooms or a jar of mushrooms, salt and pepper, a can of tomato soup, a can of black olives, a can of tomato paste, a can of creamed corn. You'll also need cheddar cheese, ground mustard, chili powder, and an onion chopped or minced onion or onion powder.
The first thing you're going to do is brown your ground beef. While I'm waiting for this to heat up, I'm gonna add a little bit of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. I don't have a specific brand that I like to use. I just get whatever's pretty and in glass. I love glass. So I'm gonna put a little bit of EVOO, isn't that fun to say? Or you can say extra virgin olive oil 10 times fast to, practice speaking. I don't know, whatever you wanna do. But anyway, I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in here. And so I always do that when I do pasta because it helps it not to stick. Also, this is really good for you. So it's a way to kind of sneak in some healthy amidst all my, I wouldn't say unhealthy, but maybe y'all would say unhealthy. Do y'all like pasta? I love pasta. I like all shapes and sizes. Even those tiny, tiny, tiny little ones that are in frog eye salad called acini di pepe, I don't know how to say it. By the way, my husband and I were able to go to Israel last year, the Holy Land, and I bought this olive wood spoon. So olive wood is awesome there. We even got to see the olive trees in the Garden of Gethsemane. It was awesome. Anyway, it was the best trip, and we got to go with my sweet sister and her husband and our pastors from our church in Arkansas and some dear people that I just met. And I feel like they are our best friends. They're the neatest people, but they're in Arkansas. Still, it was amazing there. Also, y'all, people don't talk about, when they go to the Holy Land, they don't talk about the food. The food is amazing. Everything you eat is unbelievable. God's city. It stands to reason. About my granny. She wrote me a recipe card on one of my wedding showers when I got married over 31 years ago. And in her writing, it was a recipe for Spanish rice. And part of the recipe said, cook the ground beef into grains. Isn't that adorable? So that's what we're doing right now. We're cooking it into grains. Some people like it in grains and other people like it to be in chunks. My husband loves it in chunks, and so I try not to cook it all the way into grains. Don't y'all love the sound of ground beef sizzling? We have amazing beef in the Midwest, and so my husband can cook a steak as well as any steakhouse. While this is sizzling, I'm gonna get my pasta because my water is ready and I have a little bit of EVOO in there, and I'm just gonna put it in. There we go. I love different shapes of pasta. I like bow tie pasta. This is mastacholi. I have a friend who lives in Italy, Luca. Luca Biaggi, are you watching? Hey, buddy. He was in our youth group way back when. Do y'all like handwritten recipes? I love handwritten recipes. Don't get me wrong, I love going on the internet and finding a recipe just like that. But handwritten recipes from people I love, they're just so special. In fact, my sister, I think she has framed some of Granny's recipes in her dining room. She is, I always say she's Insta famous, and she says, no, I'm not, but she is. Just to say, if y'all want to follow someone amazing on Instagram, it's Heather Bug Lane. Yes, I think that's right. Anyway, her house is incredible. And anyway, I call her Hadu. So if you hear me talk about Hadu, it's Heather. But even she loves nicknames. And if you ever meet her, you say, Hadu! She will be yours for life. This is almost cooked. Do y'all ever get out your cookbooks and they're splattered to death? I think that just shows how loved they are. So I love to open my cookbooks and see a bunch of splatters. And again, remember, spilling makes it a party. I do have this recipe memorized by heart, but I always tweak it a little. So I'm looking at the real recipe for y'all. And I will type it out at the end. Whoops. Does this ever happen to y'all? Woo. Good old fan. So we're gonna go ahead and add our spices. We're gonna add our dry mustard. You can do an onion if you want to, chopped. The people in my family don't want kind of an onion, chunk. And so I just either use onion salt or minced onion. So this is minced. Chili powder, pepper, salt. Okay, y'all, now we're ready to add our vegetables. I'm gonna stir our pasta a little bit to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. I think I overflow pasta every time I make it. Do y'all do that? Now let's chop our vegetables. Okay, this pasta is ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain it and put half a stick of butter in it and let it sit there until I'm ready to add it to the meat. Actually, I'm gonna put a whole stick of butter. One of my daughters is in nursing school and she is so good for us with keeping us healthy, but that girl can cook. But she does, try to pull back on the butter a little bit. We know it's so out of love. I am gonna put a whole stick of butter in there though. Green bell pepper makes my whole kitchen smell amazing. And then these wonderful mushrooms. You can do canned mushrooms if you want to. I just love real mushrooms. My dad says that mushrooms are something to step on. Oh, my sweet dad. He's amazing. Best man you'll ever meet. Pasta sauce. And I just use whatever. I've made pasta sauce before, but it didn't turn out great. And it was so many years ago. And I thought, heck, you can buy it. So, but you do you. Good old tomato soup. 1 can of chopped olives or whole olives. I got whole ones because they're so much more fun. I drained it, but it's spilling everywhere. Plus there's a restaurant we used to go to for special occasions when the girls were little, and they have a giant buffet that's kind of famous. And the girls' favorite part was to put olives on their fingers. So they'd go around, they'd be in their little Sunday dresses after church, and they'd have these black olives on their fingers with these giant bows. They so knew us at that restaurant. It was awesome. Anyway, I love black olives. I never used to like any other kind of olives except for when we went to Israel. They have so many olives and they're so good. And what I didn't realize was that the different colors of olives are just the different ripeness of the same olive. And they have amazing olives there. Like I said, people, they talk about, walking where Jesus walked. I'm with them. It was unbelievable. Sitting on those temple steps was just incredible. But also on a really shallow note, the food is unbelievable. Dear tour guide Olga is an amazing, godly woman and brilliant. But anyway, she's a historian and she was just incredible. And she knew her Bible. You should have seen her Bible. I tried to sneak and take a picture of it. It was just almost in shreds. I'm like, boy, that is how a Bible should look. Anyway, I think of her often. Olga, if you ever watch this, you need to come over to America and visit us when you can. Okay, I have to tell y'all about the corn. We grow this corn. This is sweet corn. It is the best corn you've ever put in your mouth. And this is Rick's great-grandmother's recipe for baked creamed corn. So the recipe calls for creamed corn. So this is what I would put in it. 2020, made this year. Also, if you ever come to the farm, I will feed you this amazing creamed corn, just saying. But for today's recipe, just because most people don't have this on hand, we're just gonna use this store-bought creamed corn, just for the recipe's sake. Blasphemy, putting that in there. Oh, don't look. Tomato paste, look how cute this tiny little spatula is. TJ Maxx. Anyway, look, you can get in there. Ah, so fun. Tomato paste is just fun to work with. It's like some kind of art medium. Probably should have gotten a bigger pan. Do y'all ever do that? So much fun to stir together. Look how beautiful that is. Ah, it smells so good. And y'all, this one, I mean, it's good the first night, but the next day after it's been in the fridge all night, oh, those flavors are intense. They're so good. So this is another one that's good to bring to a family that's been sick or has a new baby, except for if you're gonna do that, take out the onion and the pepper and the mushrooms and the olives. Just basically make it meat and pasta. My mom was always so good about custom making food for our family. She's an amazing cook. My big brother, though, never wanted to see an onion in anything. I think she must have sneaked them in somehow. I may have overcooked this pasta a bit, but no worries because it'll be soft and really absorb all that juice, so no worries. I'm literally folding it in like my granny taught me one time how to make her famous angel food cake. And you fold in that flour, that special cake flour that you buy in a box, very bougie. But I can't talk about that this time. There will be a time that I will make that cake. I promise y'all. And then we will fold like this. But normally, normally you don't have to fold in your pasta with your stuff. Although look how pretty it is. Here, I want y'all to see this. Cooking is not for the weak. My little brother is a trainer. Actually, my big brother is a trainer too. My big brother just isn't training right now. He's lawyering and doing photography, and he could lift this no problem. Ooh. Oh, that is gorgeous. Wow. Okay, now I'm gonna put it in my 9x13 pan. We're not done. Okay, I wanna make sure this is packed in here as tightly as possible because next I'm gonna add potato chips. Good old Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. My husband loves the dill flavor. I like the good old tried and true. This is so fun. Get it to the edges. Do y'all see why I like this? I hope y'all like it too. And lastly, you just put cheddar cheese over the top of the chips. You'll want to put about 2 cups or more. I love cheese. There's a book that I read to the girls when they were growing up called The Man Who Loved Cheese. It was written so brilliantly, and it was about a man who loved cheese like an addict. It was cute and clever and amazing. I still have the book downstairs. Anyway, that would be me. I love cheese. Okay, now I'm gonna cover it with aluminum foil and we're gonna put it in the oven covered for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, we got a few minutes before it's ready. So, okay, I just took it out of the oven and I'm so excited to take off the aluminum foil. Oh my goodness. The smell is wonderful. The cheese stuck a little bit to the aluminum foil, but look at this. I'm gonna so eat that later. It's yummy. This is gonna be so good. Y'all, thanks for joining me today. It was so much fun, and I hope you make this at home. Y'all have a great day. Don't forget to thank Jesus and enjoy. See you next time.